What's up, guys? Dub here, and we are here. I mean, obviously, what do you see? Gameplay update 6.84. I don't know why I almost said 6.8.4, but yeah, whatever. So huge changes. This is the major update since the Dota finals, which Vici Gaming won them. Them Chinese men, they won it all. Just real quick, we didn't even talk. We've been looking at this for the past half hour. How come no comment on Enchantress and Chen? Did they even do anything on Chen?
No,
Why is he in the background?
because they did a lot of changes to creeps.
I guess they did do some creep stuff, but they didn't even do anything to Chen. Whatever. Anyways, guys, we're doing a video. This is gonna be kind of a longer one, just kind of casual talk. Lots and lots of changes. Just look at this. I'm gonna scroll through and just go through all the changes, and then there's some stuff I'm gonna skim through real quick because I don't want you to see it yet. And yeah, surprises. Lots of stuff going on. But anyways, just real quick, lots of just basic things to go over. First off, well, just things that really struck us first right off the bat. Me specifically, Agganis Scepter, huge changes. 11, possibly 10. We're still deciding on one of them if it's kind of general. But at least 10 new characters using Aghanim Scepter, and then we have 8 characters getting changes, or at least pretty good changes to Aghanims, what they already had. And then one thing that right off the bat, Archy said was the new items. Lots of new items and lots of item changes, new item upgrades, specifically boots, adding a lot of new stuff with boots. But let's just go ahead and go down here from the top down. Honestly, this first huge section is all creep and gold stuff. Nothing too wild until you get over here to the barracks. Barracks gold increase and little tower armor decrease.
The mud golems.
Well, I'm still in the first part right here.
I skipped farther than you did.
I went down gold. Bounty reduced on certain creeps. They reduced a lot of gold there. But rework mud golems. This is actually a really cool thing that they did. So basically, they're no longer spell immune. Mud golems, in case you were wondering, are the heroes or the heroes. They're the creeps that are in the jungle. They're the ones that are you can't attack with magic. They're now not spell immune. They just have resistance. And when they died, they split into shard golems, which is interesting. But yeah, anyways, basically they die and split in half. And yeah, kind of weird, but cool at the same time. I know you read a lot more about this little minor stuff than I did. So what are a couple of things?
Well, I just wanted to say about the mud golems, they now have a stun that they didn't have before.
That's right. Where was that? Hurl Boulder. That's right there.
And the shards get it, so you can use your mud golem, have it stun, and then once it dies, you get 2 shard golems automatically, and they each get their own separate stuns.
So wait, is each stack still gonna be 2 mud golems? So you'll get 4 shard golems.
Well, right, but I'm just saying, like with Enchantress or Chen, if you or using whatever the helmet of the Dominator.
Oh, helmet Dominator, yeah.
If you use that to take control of it, you get a stun.
And then if it dies, you get 2 stuns.
Which specifically in ability draft, you have a tendency to have one team get a lot more stuns than the other. So now you have another creep that you can use, and it'll give you 2 stuns, potentially 3. If you stun, it dies, and you get 2 more.
Huh. Okay, yeah, that's a good point. You and your ability draft. But anyways, what we have, one other thing that he said, because he likes his little creep stuff, hero kills achieved by units under your control now provide XP to your hero. So that's pretty cool. But yeah.
Also, something we noticed is melee attacks now miss if the target is further than 350 range.
Yeah, that was interesting. But that I have a feeling this is going to affect more of ability draft than anything else. Talking about things like take aim, Arctic burn, impetus. If you are a melee character and you use these skills,
any spell that would cost you attack at range.
Yeah, like poison attack. What is it? Poison attack, burning spear, things like that. Arcane orb. These things will now actually miss if it's longer than 350. So that's something you have to pay attention to. Ability draft. It's a very little interesting tidbit. Couple other things. There's some changes if you're turning while doing a spell. Blah blah blah. Rework silencing and passive disabling, so you can now mute people. Is that right?
Yeah, there's mute.
Mute is item silencing, and then you can break, which disables passive abilities.
Right, which hexing people no longer puts break on.
That's
so
gonna
you'll
take a
still
while to
get
get
your
used
passive if you're turned into a pig.
to.
So if you turn PA into a pig, you'll still miss.
Okay, just real quick with the last thing of just general changes, things that are changed. So we have the Ring of Health, Void Stone, and Orb of Venom moving from Secret Shop to base. So you can now get Perseverance in base, which
No, moving
is that right?
from base to Secret Shop.
No, Secret Shop to base, first line.
Oh,
Ring
okay.
of Health, Void Stone. Yeah, so you get Perseverance in base, which is huge because Perseverance is used a lot in items now. And Orb of Venom, which is important because that means you can get almost all of. I mean, that's one thing that for Scotty that you can get in the base
Everything
now.
except for the
health.
boost.
What do you call it?
Point booster.
Point booster. Yeah, that one. Now things going from base to Secret Shop, the backwards. Plate Mail, Talisman Evasion, and Ultimate Orb. Well, yeah, Scotty's gone now. Ultimate Orb that's found in a Secret Shop. So that kind of sucks.
But now you can entirely buy Butterfly from the Secret Shop.
Oh yeah, Talisman Evasion. Wait.
But you can't get Blade Mail except for from the Secret Shop. Oh no, that's Plate Mail. That's for Shiva's.
Yeah, that's the other one. But no, Talisman Evasion for Butterfly, you're still missing the stick. Battle Staff or whatever.
So you are.
Yeah, but still, that's like you can get that from side shop, so that's fine. You don't have to go back to base to get it, rather than going to all three. And then added Voice Stone and Mantle of Intelligence to the side shop. Mantle of Intelligence is the 185 item. Is that how much it costs?
No, it's the level 4 intelligence item, which means it gives you 27 intelligence.
The Mantle of Intelligence?
Isn't that it?
No, that's the 185 that makes the null.
That's the one that was like the Slippers of Agility.
Yeah, exactly. It's the one that makes the null talisman. But the Void Stone, that's so move Ring of Health, that's for the Perseverance. It's also now in the side shop, which is really cool. But other than that, nothing. Oh, and if you like Basher Abyssal, Spirit Breaker, Faceless Void, Slardar, and Troll, basically the characters that had active bashes can now buy Basher and Abyssal. So now
stacked.
Yeah, I get it stacked. So now before we go in, start just running through the heroes real quick. Let's just talk about, obviously we've already done all this. Lots of major changes to heroes. Or actually, no, let's just run through heroes. We'll just scroll through and stop when there's a major change. So first one is actually the second hero on here. Alchemist, huge change. So the first one is, Unstable Concoction, a couple changes. Grievel's Greed now grants 4 times bounty from runes. That's big. Because that first rune is 100 gold, right?
It's guaranteed 100 gold. So
now it's 400 gold.
He gets guaranteed 400 gold.
Holy shit, but that's not even the coolest thing about Alchemist.
No, he'd get, I don't know if it's the Grievel's Greed gives him a 4 times bonus on top of that, so that he gets the 400 in addition to what he would actually get.
No, I don't think so. I think it just multiplies it by 4.
I think it's just a 4 times multiplier, but I was just wondering, because normally Grievel's is in addition to what you would normally get, so I just...
Yeah, I can see what you're saying, but I don't think so. But this is the big one. Alchemist can now cast Aghanim Scepter to directly grant an allied hero all Aghanim Scepter bonuses as a buff. The hero the hero upgrade and the stat upgrade. The scepter is consumed in the process. Multiple instances do not stack. Alchemist can target himself. So this is what we're saying earlier when there's 11 new, possibly 10. So he can cast Aghanim Scepter to himself. So I'm imagining that means that adds a skill. And when that adds a skill, it's like, oh, hey, you can cast the Aghanims you hold. First you would eat it, and then you can give it to everybody else. Would that be wrong?
But I think it just allows him to cast it like any other item, like a Shadow Blade.
So you don't think it would be a skill. You think it would be like just a thing you could do.
Right. I think it would work a lot like a Scythe of Vice just to a friendly, and then it would disappear from your inventory. So like,
okay, and so
a Tango.
Okay, and so there's 2 different question marks here that are vague. Does this cost a skill? Or not a skill, sorry, actually a skill. So is it going to give him like an extra button you have to push to do it? Like a Treant kind of thing, where with Treant, when you get Aghanims, all of a sudden another slot appears. And the other thing is, when you consume it, does the other character, is he actually holding an item? I don't think so. Consume to me, that says he eats it.
It says as a buff.
Yeah, but that's still, I mean, it's not 100%. It says, hey, they are not holding the item now. Consume makes me think they aren't, and then, yeah, you're right. It can, as a buff, tells me they aren't holding it, but that could be huge. Characters like Lion, Crystal Maiden, these characters that Aghanim's is a big item for them, and that it wastes a slot, they can now get as a buff. And obviously, you're talking bigger characters now, like the hard carries.
A problem with the buff is that debuffable.
Ooh, I didn't actually think about that. Like a temporary debuff?
Right. Can you cancel somebody's Agganis?
I wouldn't say you can permanently cancel, but you can probably temporarily do it. But, no, but then think of like your hard carries that get 6 slotted a lot. Like your Axe. Or Juggernaut or Enigma. Like these characters that are hard carries that get 6 slotted, and it's kind of a big deal. All of a sudden now they don't need to acquire Yags. Somebody's just going to give it to them. That's huge. Alchemist just became, in my opinion, the biggest support in the game.
And one item, since I am a fan of ability draft, if it's just an Alchemist has the innate ability to consume it, if in ability draft he gets, say, like Laser or an ulti where he could upgrade it with Scepter, can he still cast that Scepter to himself and his allies?
So basically, I mean, you're saying if this is not a skill, it would have to be an innate ability. If it's an innate ability, not only does he stay in ability draft, but he can actually give himself something that Aghanim's would be good with. Like, he actually can give himself an Aghanim skill.
Right.
That would be broken as fuck.
And then he could still do it with all of his teammates as well.
Yeah, that would be just broken as fuck. But anyways, we're going to go ahead and move on. Other abilities, obviously, I mean, we're not going to go through all of them. We're just going to go through the big changes. Obviously, us being a big ability draft, we're going to be looking at those specifically as well. So the first one here is Bane. Now, this is not 100% confirmed, but logically, he is now out of ability draft. With this third thing here, Nightmare End can now be used by Bane to end all existing nightmares. That tells us that
sounds like a 4th spell.
That sounds like we mean a 5th spell.
Well, 4th.
Well, I guess, yeah, it'd probably be the 4th spell in order. But because what that tells me is you can cast multiple because it says all other existing nightmares. And then it's another thing because you can just sit there and push a button and all of them would end. So if you're waiting for like, I don't know, a Ravage or somebody to get there with a large AoE skill, you could put a couple people in Nightmare and then just end it. And then they get attacked. Other than that, if we go down the list, Bounty Hunter, huge changes. They increased his intelligence growth because they increased his mana cost of items. As well, I mean, this one is just weird. Track now shows how much gold the enemy is carrying in the debuff tooltip. That's weird. Why is that important?
For whatever reason. Well, if you track several of them, then you can figure out which everyone has the most money, and then you.
But the goal is to kill them all, anyways.
Yeah, like you don't track just to track.
Yeah, it's not a casual let's do this. No, you track them to get more money.
Right.
But anyways,
I do think that the bounce range on Shuriken is increased, but the cast range is decreased significantly.
Yeah. But that's fine. Scroll down the list. The next big update. Centaur War Runner added an Aghanim's Scepter ability. Or actually, it's not ability, sorry. It just adds to it. So Stampede reduces all incoming damage by 70% and allows allies to run through obstructions, trips, cleats, etc. Destroys trees. Only thing I'm curious about with this, that's not 100%, but it kind of makes sense. Stampede reduces all incoming damage. Stampede is a global skill, so that does increase damage, or decrease incoming damage. That's weird. I guess I just say it backwards from the way it's there. It decreases incoming damage by 70% on everybody globally, right? I mean, that would just be logical, right?
Right.
I mean, that'd be kind of a pain in the ass if not. One quick thing, just because it's funny, Chaos Bolt minimum damage is no longer 1 on level 1. So you can't do 1 damage to somebody. That's just sad. And then if they had, because that's magical, so if they had happened to somehow, if it was level 1 and they had over 50% magical, it could technically do 0 damage. Because Dota rounds.
Right.
Crystal Maiden, they buffed a little bit, which is good because she's pathetic. Dragon Knight, a couple changes to Elder Dragon, and also now his Corrosive Breath, which is the level 2 dragon, is now lethal.
Oh, you skipped the extra exorcisms on
Oh
lower.
yeah, that's right. Death Prophet. They added on the low end. They added a couple extra spirits. So like level 1 exorcism with like level 1 or 2 witchcraft. Now we'll actually have what, like 8 spirits rather than the 4.
Right, because it gets bumped to 6 by default, and then you can add up to 5 with
I think it's 4. It goes. I think it goes 1, 2, 3, 4.
2, 3, 4 maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah, because then it ends up at 25. So
Yeah.
you can have a weapon potentially with a level 1 ulti.
Gotcha. So let's
Oh,
see.
and
Echo Stomp. Echo Stomp channel time reduced and cooldown reduced. I know you like Echo Stomp in ability draft. You don't like, nobody likes Elder Titan, but that skill in ability draft, that's actually pretty cool. Big changes. Let's see. Enchantress. Impetus now pierces spell immunity.
also, she can re-enchant her own
Oh yeah, I
units.
forgot about that one. So if you are controlling a creep and you re-cast enchant on it, it just refreshes the time, which is awesome. Because sometimes you like the ones you have, right?
Right.
You kind of start falling in love with them a little bit. Anyways, Enigma, huge changes. Enigma is already good. He's a really good support and he can be a really good carry. He just got 3 huge buffs. So I guess Midnight Pulse, the first one isn't huge. It the cast point, so when you do it to how long it activates, reduced from 0.3 to 0.2. Not a big deal. The other 2, Black Hole now does a constant damage no matter how far they are from the center. Keep in mind, that's really big. That does a lot of damage. It doesn't matter if you barely touch them, they're all going to be slowly stuck to the middle. And then they also reduce the mana cost. That's big too. If we keep going down the list, there's a lot of changes to Invoker. Basically making him a little bit better. But I mean, this along with a lot of the things the other skills do, which are down like in the minor text regions, what they say like these can now attack ancients, things like that. There's a lot of stuff that got added there. IO, I know you kind of like this IO ability. If you just double tap it, it will take you straight to the fountain. Kind of like a TP scroll, stuff like that. Let's see. Juggernaut, just kind of basic stuff there. Oh, here's a change with Scepter, Keeper of the Light. His heal percentage now goes from 75 to 100%. So that's interesting. Oh, Legion Compare, probably one of my, I think one of the coolest Aghanim's upgrades. If you get Aghanim on Legion Commander, this last one, duel lasts until either Legion Commander or the target dies, and then also ends if they're more than 2,000 range apart, which is a totally different question. I mean, Nether Swap, Force Staff, Force Staff.
Does it cancel a teleport? Is the question.
Well, you can't.
If you can target a teleporting hero,
I guess you can.
I don't know if I don't know that it cancels the teleport. And like Keeper of the Light can teleport heroes to him.
Yeah, and I guess Chen can. Chen can. Io can. I mean, that's so really weird specific.
Right. It's so random. But
that's a very oddly specific note.
You could play off of that, and then people would just like totally unexpected.
That's true. That's true. Scroll down. Livestealer. Large changes. Basically, bonus. His feast is now considered bonus damage, so you can crit and cleave off of it. Open wounds increases his lifesteal overall. Aghanim Scepter, basically reverse infest. It's called Assimilate, but yeah, basically Lifestealer. Does it literally say eat? Doesn't it? And swallow them. It swallows them.
So you could take a witch doctor with a heal on and suck him in.
Pudge with rot. I mean, lots of those toggles basically.
With whatever.
Ooh, I wonder if Medusa's mana shield surrounds him.
I doubt it.
That'd be weird. But yeah.
Well, no, because you can't gain or lose health or mana.
Yeah, but I was wondering if like the shield would just sit and float around him, but yeah, I guess not. But anyways, this is another character that's now being taken out of ability draft because of it's adding an ability. This will be a separate ability from Infest.
Right.
So scroll down, another change to Aghanims. Basically, for Lena does not increase cast range, so it takes it from, I believe, if I remember right, the Laguna Blade was 900 cast range.
950?
Something like that. So
No,
it
950 damage, I think.
with
I think it was 900 cast range.
yeah, it was something. It added 200 because it was 700, then went to 900, I think.
Something like that, yeah.
Okay, so another brand new Aghanim Scepter. Lone Druid. Basically, when you die, Spirit Bear still runs around. You get to control Spirit Bear still.
And it can attack from anywhere on the map. It doesn't have to be near Lone Druid.
Oh, that's true.
So you can split push with your bear.
Oh god, that'd be so much micro. Luna, another Aghanim Scepter increase. Basically,
it works all like shrapnel now.
Yeah, it works like shrapnel. You pick an area, or you can click a hero, like you or somebody else, obviously.
Like you can double click it, and it'll just be her normal ulti on herself.
Yeah, can double click target or Luna.
Only allied units, so you can't center it on an enemy unit, unfortunately.
That would be hilarious. That would be straight fucking hilarious. Alright, scroll down a little bit. Morphling has a new Aghanims. I'm not sure how I feel about it. It's kind of awkward. Basically,
turns himself into a copy of your teammate.
Yeah, it's basically just a reverse of his ulti. In a way. So,
kind of if you wanted to play him as a support and then in a team fight pull out an extra hard carry.
But the thing is, you can't use the ultimate ability. Basically what his ulti is now is, or the Aghanim's ability, you can copy an ally and then basically be them for a short amount of time, for 20 seconds. But you can't use their ulti. So, I mean, I'm sure there's lots of little situations that might be cool, like a double Omni Knight.
You could do it like an extra axe in the middle of a fight.
Yeah, an extra axe or an extra Omni Knight. Imagine like double repel. Like, I mean, I'm sure there's little weird things you can think of, but nothing like that's more of a support. And Morphling's not much of a support. You're literally pinning yourself as a support in that case, and that's not really what Morphling does. Scroll down, a lot of other really big changes. These next three, they're right next to each other, basically. Naga Siren added Aghanim Scepter. Basically, as you're doing it, it increases 6% of allies' health per second. So, for 7 seconds, do the math, 42% health. You can just pause the fight, increase your team's health by half, and then continue. Down below that,
saving people.
That's definitely saving people. Right below him, Nature's Prophet. Huge change in Aghanim Scepter. Basically, now spawns in Nature's called Treant whenever it kills a unit. So when you use his ulti, when you do it, you get the 10 kills and all that gold all of a sudden now you have 10 fucking Treants too.
And if you kill a hero with it, it does 3 times damage.
Yeah, a Treant that does 3 times damage.
3 times damage and health.
Holy shit.
A super Treant.
Yeah, and then this is one hero I'm super excited to play.
It'd become like a level 1 Treant protector.
Basically, yeah. Basically. This next one, I'm super excited. So 2 things. Spike Carapace no longer moves Vendetta. That's cool as shit. Then Nyx Assassin added all Aghanims. Basically, it adds something called Burrow, where he sits there, kind of hides like Templar Assassin, goes invisible and just chills there. But he can cast his spells, and he can sit there. It doesn't say an amount of time, right? He can sit there forever.
Casting Vendetta is the only thing that causes it to end that I've seen.
Yeah, but what it does is basically reduces the cooldown of all of his skills, except, I mean, you basically are hiding underground. That's about it. He sits there and heals.
Regenerate health at 1.5% per second.
Yeah, that's just nuts. So much stuff there, but yeah. Okay, so let's go ahead. Oracle totally nerfed False Promise so much. Increased cooldown, decreased the duration. You're not invisible anymore. Lots of stuff going on there. I'm so happy. One of the things I heard that was going to happen is Pudge was going to get innate strength steal, kind of like silencers. So happy that didn't happen. Pugna, life drain with Aghanims no longer increases cast range. So basically Aghanims just increases the damage stolen, right? That's what it is. That's all it does, right? Damage stolen per second.
And eliminates the cooldown. I think it goes down to 12 and then with Scepter.
Okay, that's right. Yeah, that's right. Caustic Finale, major change here. Basically, it cools down from 8 to 6. But if the creep does not die, like before, if the creep didn't die, or creep or hero, before the creep or hero would just go away. But after 6 seconds now, a little, I guess their stomach explodes or something maybe. It just does damage
Yeah.
in general.
It just explodes to do 30% of the normal damage, which is what, 90 at level 4?
Something like that. I can't remember.
So then 30% of that would be like 27.
Which, hey, it still works.
But it's magic damage, so it'd do like 20, 22 damage.
Hey,
to
for those creeps, that's a lot. Shadow Shaman, one of my favorite heroes.
Probably
Strength
be enough
increase.
to kill a creep. The creep that didn't die.
True. But yeah, Shadow Shaman strength increased. It's pretty funny because I always love having Shadow Shaman with 100 health and 2,500 mana.
You mean 1,000 health?
What'd I say?
100.
Oh, that'd be terrifying. Well, usually that's how it was in fights too. Usually, yeah.
Or not rots, but decay.
Yeah, there you go. Sniper, huge nerfs. Headshots can miss. They lowered the damage on assassinate barely. Shrapnel's not as good. Yeah, it's lots of stuff going on there.
Shrapnel's a 1-minute cooldown now.
Jeez, that's bad. Techies, lots of stuff here. Basically, they made the normal mines really good, but they totally changed the dynamic of the sign. Basically, it's not just a taunt now. It actually, if this is the Aghanim Scepter upgrade, so if let's see, so make all landmines, stasis traps, and remote mines within a 125 area of effect immune to true sight. So you can completely hide it. If you can hide the sign, you can completely. They cannot see mines at all. Holy shit. That can be huge. If you can hide a sign like within trees or around a corner or something, and then have a bunch, they have no idea.
They can't destroy the sign, right?
No. Let's see. Scroll down the list. Next big one: Tinker, Aghanim Scepter Changes. Laser Hero blind duration increased. So basically, they changed the laser a lot. Which rather now than because the laser used to have an additional range. What was it? 300.
They used to double the range.
Oh, double the range. That's right.
What, 600 and then to 12?
Yeah, something like that. But now what it does, instead of increasing the range, it refracts to 5. If enemy, basically, if I hit an enemy and there's another enemy within 500
any
distance,
enemy hero within 550 of that one.
Yeah, and keep in mind, it's heroes, not creeps.
Right.
So if you have all 5 enemies next to each other, like imagine like a black hole or reverse polarity or something like that.
I don't think it continues to bounce. I think it just bounces to everything. Every hero within 5.
Oh, okay. But still, that means you can hit all 5 heroes with it. That's huge. And it's pure damage.
That thing does pure damage and gives 4.5 seconds of blind to all of them.
So you're talking like that's going to be crazy OP. This Tinker's going to be used a little bit more, I think, with laser because that's a good skill already.
She's going to stop split pushing and be a team fighter now.
I don't know about that.
At least sometimes.
Yeah. So basically, Troll Warlord, they nerfed him hard. Tusk, new Aghanim's ability, basically called Walrus Kick, kicks the target 900 units back and slows for 40%
So when
for 4 seconds.
everybody was complaining about the green glowy stuff in ability draft,
It's
they just decided to completely remove Tusk from ability draft by giving him a new ability.
Totally cool with that. Not pissed at all. Big change on Undying. Tombstones are only 1 attack to kill, or the zombies are now 1 attack to kill rather than having a health. So that's good. This makes Archy sad. Reworked Enrage, which is Ursa's ulti. So now Ursa goes into a frenzy, causing him to take 80% less damage from any source, and his attacks do 2, 2.5, 3, well, obviously with the level up, times the Fury Swipe damage, removing existing debuffs.
Which I think Fury Swipes does 40?
It doesn't it do 20, 40, 60, 80 additional or something like that?
I thought no, maybe it does 15, 20, 25, 30.
Something like that, but now it basically does 3 times the damage on Fury Swipes. So, I mean, if we're talking about ability draft, Enrage is useless without Fury Swipes.
Correct.
Like,
well, you still take 80% less damage, but
which is not worth it for a 40-second cooldown for 4 seconds.
Right.
Let's see.
Double the cooldown, so.
Viper, this is hilarious that they did this. The only number that changed is the level 1 ulti time. It's hilarious that that's all they changed. Visage, his creepers, his familiars, now only take 4 hits to kill.
Yeah, they don't have health anymore. They just have it's kind of like a nether ward.
Yeah, exactly.
How to take damage.
Exactly. Warlock Chaotic Offering, his health regen is now increased, so that's good. Weaver, lots of changes with Agganims. Basically, he can use it reduces time lapse again, then he can actually time lapse allies, which is awesome. Gives him a cool little support ability. But the other thing is Gemini attack. You want to talk about that?
Instead of now what they buffed it in the last major update or nerfed it in the last major update so that when he attacked, normally it won't send out the second one until the first one hits. But if they blink, then the second one would only travel so far before it would just disappear. Now it just automatically sends out the second one a quarter second after the first, regardless of whether or not it hits, and it has no range limit, so it'll keep going.
Yeah, I mean, imagine getting that. If
someone blinks into the trees, if they blinked far enough, then before the second one might dissipate before it actually hit them, but now it'll keep going.
Yeah, and imagine getting that with like just MKB. I mean, it won't miss either. So you'll never miss an attack, and that second attack will now never miss. That's awesome.
I wonder if that would stack with the new Shadow Blade upgrade that we'll talk about later.
True point. Okay, so next, Winter Wyvern. Lots of changes. They made Arctic Burn not as good, but I'm kind of okay with that because Arctic Burn was really, really good. But the big change is Winter's Curse. Basically, what it does is, before when you did Winter's Curse, let's say you use it on one enemy and there's 4 enemies around them. All 4 of those enemies, you can just sit there and attack. They now take 70 less damage, which means this ulti is literally now to focus one person and basically stop a fight. They increase the duration, they increase the cooldown a little bit, but they also increase the area of effect. So this is literally going to be now used in team fights to eliminate one enemy.
Basically, you'll get, if you got 4 of them really low and 1 tank, you could just have the 4 really low ones attack the tank and then all 5 out, or they might kill it because all of you would target the tank as well.
Mm-hmm.
So if you get one of those people who has 2 or 3 bloods or hearts on them, then it actually makes it relatively easy to kill them.
Yep. And the last one we're going to be talking about, Wraith King added Aghanim Scepter. I told you there's a lot of them in this update. This one, we're split. I don't like it. Arky does.
I don't know if I like it. I just think it's kind of cool, but it's weird at the same time.
Yeah, so let's go ahead and just read this one. So, added Aghanim Scepter upgrade to Wraith King. Allies who are near Wraith King, obviously when he has it, within a 1200 AoE, which is a pretty large, 1200, that'd be a 600 radius, right? Not 1200 diameter. Or, 1200 radius. Yeah, right. That's got to be a 600 radius.
600, yes.
Yeah, so when they're slain, they become wraiths for 5 seconds, delaying their death. They can continue attacking, casting, and when the duration ends, the hero dies. And the credit to the kill goes to whatever. So basically, if I'm around a Wraith King with the Aghanims and I die, I'm still dead, but I can attack for 5 more seconds and use skills.
You can get a kill.
But still, 5 seconds though, I mean, unless you're talking a complete lucky, like somebody who's barely dead and, blah, blah, blah.
Off or something and save another one of your teammates.
I mean, I can see, don't get me wrong, I can see it useful. What if like Axe dies and then he can use another Berserker's Call real quick when he's dead? Right. I mean, he's dead. I mean,
and then the whole team can just bail and he's got them there for 4 seconds.
I mean, don't get me wrong. I can see where it could be interesting.
Throw a Naga's ulti in there for the 5 seconds.
Yeah, but I mean, and here's another question: when the enemies die, do they still do the tombstone animation, where they die and then they come back up for just a few seconds?
I think they.
I mean, they could do that a couple different ways. Because what would they do? They would die, come back up for a few seconds, and then die again. I mean, or like, do they all of a sudden they just fall and then they appear, or like, however they do that. I mean, obviously, Wraith King with his ulti, when you die or when he dies around you, he like slows everything around you, and that's kind of a part of his deal.
I don't know if that would stack with every teammate dying around him then, maybe?
That's what I was thinking, dude. Would they get that ability too, where they like fall down to the earth and a tombstone rises, then they come up for 5 seconds and then they die again? I mean, because if you can do that, that can greatly impact a team fight.
Especially if 2 people die right away at the beginning, everybody's like 60% slowed.
Yeah, I mean, that could really impact a team fight. But yeah, I mean, guys, that's it with the characters and stuff like that. This is gonna be part one. What we're gonna do is we're gonna go ahead and come back for part two. We're gonna talk about a lot of the item upgrades that are going on, and then just kind of give an overall kind of idea what we like, don't like, what we expect to be different, and a little bit maybe competitive talk too. But anyways, guys, Dub here, and I'm actually joined with
Archy.
Yeah, I was gonna say so you can catch the cue. But anyways, guys,
It or not.
anyways, guys, we'll see you in a bit. Peace.